One thing I was thinking of with your story about the police showing up in the axe and all that stuff, that would have been a great way to, obviously, you can get news coverage. That's free.
Don't recommend that.
Yeah.
But
Especially they put us on in handcuffs first.
but you still get in, and that's sort of what I mean is, there's some ads, you've seen things that I always get things in the email to me, these really funny little videos all the time, and they're really creative. And some, even a car commercial one time I saw this, and they actually did through, the use of, and there was no animation involved, but the muffler bumped into this, that bumped into that, all these different car parts, and then at the end, and it was filmed. They spent like $2 million to do. It was like I forget how many hundreds of takes to shoot this commercial. It was amazing. Well, anyway, it got sent around to me. So and to me, to other people, and I'm just using that as an example because here's something that if you do think out of the box, if you come up with a creative little trailer or commercial or something, it's pretty free till you start getting that ball rolling. You go to these different websites or whatever places where you can go and drop this thing. Let it take off on its own. The news coverage is also good too. The other thing is newspaper. You're talking about free ways of marketing. There's always the media is kind of your friend. I've been to plays. They always invite the. I have a friend that's actually in film. He does stuff stand-up comedy at Second City, and he always invites the newspapers to come out and write little critiques, and you treat them well, they're gonna write something, and hopefully it's good or bad or whatever. It's a good free way of getting your material out there.
They're just as hungry for content, I think, as everybody else. I mean, they rely on people to make pitches to them for story ideas. Nobody can come up with every story idea, so when you can pitch ideas like that and invite them out, absolutely.
But the best way is, and is what you were talking about initially, is obviously going back to that film festival. I mean, there's some cost involved, but it's minimal. And when you say free, I mean, you spent $100 or $200 to enter in a competition, and it gets you a lot of exposure if you actually want it. Then you can use that to then promote that. Wow, we won this film festival or that. I was involved in a film in New York where I was on the set and more consulting on other things, but they ended up coming out to Chicago. They're going around all the different film festivals, but on their website, I was watching the website, and they're just constantly just boasting, winning this award and that award, and sweeping the Chicago Film Festival, and so on and so forth. But they used the internet very, very well. Let me just go down through the list. A lot of things, unfortunately, are paid. We don't want to talk about paid, obviously, right now because we're in the free section, but the paid ones are pretty. You were making up these little cards that you'd send out and actually promote. Business cards. They're not very expensive. You can go to Office Depot for a little bit and you can start handing out cards. Word of mouth is probably one of the best free ways of, obviously, if someone saw something that's good, if I see a movie that's good, I tell my friends and then they tell their friends and whatever. I mean, if your film's not that accessible, but if it's on the internet somewhere and the word gets around that it's good, they just go to the internet and watch it, whether it's a trailer or whatever. That's a great free way of getting your information out there. And then, as much exposure as you can, whether it's through, obviously, appearances or going places. YouTube is probably one of the best ways because, wow, I mean, you could, with something that's pretty decent, you can get a lot of attention. Let's see, that's pretty good for press releases too. Would be also a good way to come up with your own press release, your own material, send it out, hit all the people that you think are important, try to get some kind of. But like what you were saying in conclusion, is really, obviously if you don't have the money for it, then just be prepared to spend more time. And the more time you do spend, you can accomplish a lot. And you can accomplish a lot in doing a film these days, where edit systems aren't $30,000, $40,000. Like my first edit system, where you can get $2,000. Cameras are reduced to price, and the quality is pretty good. If you are thinking in that mentality, and you're letting your talent do the work, and you're letting your and letting the internet and some other free resources do the work, you can probably get fairly far with it. So it's just a matter of what's your expectation back in return. I mean, do you want this thing to obviously sell millions and be bought up like a Blair Witch or something, and then, or do you want it to just just get it out there and whatever, and have it do its, and sometimes films that don't necessarily in the first year even do a lot, and there are some film examples, I don't have any, but in 3 years, or 2 or 3 years, your film then gets out there and someone becomes interested, so it may take a while to, but usually you try to hit it in that first period of time in which it's released, so, all right.